welcome to another episode of Purana Talk.
We're reading the Garuda Purana, Khanda 2, the second big whopping section, on Dharma and Adharma, chapter 48, did I say that? On Dharma and Adharma. Garuda said, "The people of all castes who live in this mortal world die at their own time and obtain different worlds according to the magnitude of their pious deeds. They go on different paths ordained by God, through what virtue they obtain pleasure, and through what merit they get family strength and age." That's supposed to be a question. Tell me, O Lord.
Who gets to be old and who dies young? Tell me, please. Garuda, basically saying. So what's up with the people dying?
And here an unusual little twist in the narration. Suta steps in as narrator. On hearing this, the Lord said to Garuda, explaining in detail how the body functions, how it is bound by actions, how this world, mobile and immobile, goes, how it is created, and how and by whom it is administered. The Lord said,
well read.
Not very well written
No.
in this case.
No, but you figured it out.
The Lord said, Vishnu, presumably, for those walking on the path of Yama, the four Vargas, Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha, are secondary. These are the four ends of life, which is to say, your spiritual life, your material life, wealth, your pleasure life, your life of your erotic life, and etc. And moksha, liberation. Sometimes called the ends of life. These are that's what you live for.
Oh yeah. Till you die.
But it says, for those walking the path of Yama, who's the Lord of Death, these are secondary. Having entered the body, measuring a thumb of his own hand, and being held by the noose, he weeps again and cries, "I was having the body of a Brahmin in the pious country of Bharata, yet due to infatuation I did not worship Lord Indra, or perform rites for propitiating the manes and deities. I had no relations, no sons, no progeny. Due to fondness for my body, I did not act in right direction. I got the rare Brahmanahood, yet I did not study the Vedas and Puranas. The gem that I got, and which I hold in my palm, was lost. Oh, my soul now suffer for whatever I have done in my previous life." The Kshatriya, who has drunk blood from his forehead in the battle, has well drunk soma in the sacrifice. Dead or alive, he gets release. Though he may have done many impious acts and drunk many undesirable drinks, if he takes weapons and faces the enemy in the war, he is released from sins immediately. One may be a Kshatriya, or a Vaishya, or a Shudra, or one may belong to a low caste, which is to say outside of the Varnas, the fourfold system, presumably.
Oh, and it was interesting how they were, glorifying this warrior behavior.
Yeah. One may be a Kshatriya, or a Vaishya, or a Shudra, or may belong to a low caste. If he kills in war, the nobles or the cultured, children, women, or old men, the poor or the ascetics, or remains indifferent when these are in trouble, the deities become indifferent to him. The manes do not receive his libations of jelly water, and the fire does not receive his offering of ablutions. So it's great to be a warrior in battle, but if you use your power against nobles, cultured individuals, children, women, old men, the poor, all of these,
defenseless, basically,
then the gods will be indifferent to you.
What verse is that?
9 and 10. The manes don't take libations from people like you if you do this kind of stuff. So there's a lot of this. I don't know how to describe it. Natural justice. Due to policy or fear, if a person does not face the foe in war, O bird, know it for certain that he is sure to die one day afterwards. But before that, his kshatrahood goes in vain. It doesn't say kshatriyahood, it just says kshatrahood goes in vain. If he donates gold or earth to a Brahmin, pardon me, we're back. So, due to policy or fear, if a person does not face the foe in war, O bird, know it for certain that he is sure to die one day afterwards. But before that, his kshatrahood goes in vain. If he donates gold or earth to a Brahmin, he is born in human form in this world in a noble and illustrious family.
So, verse 11, is that right?
Yeah.
Gold to a Brahmin is how you become a human.
Yeah, well, but it's more like if you fail to live up to your kshatrahood by facing the foe in battle, you can still,
you can give gold to a Brahmin and be a human next time.
Or earth, and you'll be born again as a human. Because you want to be reborn as a human because you have to be a human before you can be liberated, to get moksha.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So it's a good thing, and as long as you're going to be human, he'll even be in a good family. Right. So, not a bad deal. 12. He who dies in war is deemed to have given gifts during eclipse, to have bathed in a holy place, to have gone to Gaia and offered rice balls to the mains.
So this is a special exemption for war.
Yeah, if you die in war, you get all sorts of benefits. A kshatriya repents that in the battlefield, at the time of his master's murder, or when the cows were seized, or forcibly carried away by the foe, when women and children were killed, or when his companions were in trouble, he did not use his sword. So, done the Kshatriyas, now we're moving on to the Vaishyas in 14. When a Vaishya is caught in the noose, he repents that he did not cherish truth in business transactions due to greed in support of his family. And I think the noose they're referring to is when he's facing death. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going through Yama's tools so far. Right?
So, yeah. Well, I guess.
They started with the sword, and now they're gone on to the noose.
Maybe. You think they're associating these with the Varnas?
I don't know. I just noticed.
I don't know.
In 13, they mention the sword. And then the next thing they mention is the noose. Well, that got my attention.
Well, it's also just sort of metaphorically under the control when you're on the road to Yama's kingdom and things like that. When a Vaishya is caught in the noose, he repents that he did not cherish truth in business transactions due to greed in support of his family. This is the likely sin of the Vaishya, the shopkeeper, the trader. A Shudra repents that having obtained body, he neither gave reputable gifts to Brahmins nor worshipped them, nor built a tank on the earth. The jiva that has left the body thinks thus: I abandoned my family profession. I lived in pride. I did not give up my ghost in a holy place. I did not earn virtue or worship God for release. Such people are born as mlechas, outcasts, etc. Having given up their physical bodies, they enter into airy bodies and become averse to religious activities. Irreligious, airy spirits without bodies, really?
Well, it's going through all the castes, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's been going through the,
It started with Brahmins, and now it's going through the lower castes.
It was talking about Shudra and how his soul thinks upon death.
Right.
I did this, I did that, I didn't do anything, I'm not.
And
then he's reborn as mlechas, outcast, so even lower than a Shudra is what he's being born as. The Vaishya is the next one up, Kshatriya is the next one up, the next one up is Brahmana.
Right.
And they're not, these are ritual groups, not economic groups precisely. Though.
Right.
So they have professions associated.
There's overlap. Yes.
Anyway, let me see.
You were at 16.
I'm down. No.
17.
18. Whatever religious acts they have done, keeping them in view and moving in the way, hear, O bird, what they speak about among themselves. The three in the world are the best of all. Jambudvipa among the Dvipas, the land of the bright among the countries of the world, and human beings among the creatures on the earth. There are 4 castes, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Among these, the Brahman caste is the best. People can derive pleasure from religion. When they start on the highway, leaving their bodies after death, they revive their previous associations. I stayed as worm and insect. I was a reptile. I was a mosquito. I was a quadruped. I was a wild boar. Staying in the womb, he recollects everything, but coming out of the womb, he forgets whatever he thought while he was in the womb. After birth, he passes through 3 stages: childhood, youth, and old age. Through infatuation, the thoughts of the womb are soon forgotten, but they revive when the body succumbs to death. When the body is destroyed, thoughts remain within the self. They revive when the self enters into the womb and takes up another body. When that is again destroyed, thoughts remain in the self. The process goes on till the eternal release is accomplished. In my body I cheated others, gambling, cheating, and stealing. I lived by transgressing religion. I struggled hard for earning money. I did not enjoy riches to my satiety. I did not offer betel, corn, milk, or fire to deities, guests, and relatives. Even during the solar or lunar eclipse, I did not visit holy places. My body was full of waste and urine. Now, O soul, suffer for what you did in your previous body. I did not see, nor bowed to, nor worshipped Lord Vishnu's idol on the earth. I also did not devoutly praise the Lord of Prabhasa. Hence, O soul, suffer for what you did in your previous body. Having gone to the admirable land near a holy place, I did not put money in the scholar's hand, nor gave it to a preceptor after taking ablutions in the holy water. Hence, O soul, now suffer for what you did in your previous body. I did not worship the mother goddess, nor Vishnu, nor Shankara, nor Ganesha, nor Chandi, nor the sun with due rites by offering sandal paste, etc. Now, O soul, suffer for what you did in your previous body. I obtained the title of deity even as a man, but due to infatuation I lost that glory. I was a fool not to own my infirmities. O soul, now suffer for what you did in your previous body. Having thought over these points, O bird, which grant virtue, wealth, and fame, man obtains release perpetually. Being addressed thus by the messengers of Yama, the dead are struck with clubs. They cry, O fate, and curse themselves that the money earned by them was not gifted to the deserving Brahmins. The emissaries of Yama tell you, you neither gifted the earth, nor cow, nor water, nor cloth, nor fruit, nor beetle, nor ointment in your life on this earth. Then why do you lament? Your father died. Your grandfather died. She also died who bore you in her womb. Your relations also died. You saw them all dead. Your body has been burnt by fire. Your wealth and corn are taken over by your sons. Whatever good and virtuous actions you did, those only will go along with you. None who is dead can ever come back. May he be a king, a mendicant, or a Brahmin. He who dies in the battlefield is also dead, and he who survives is also dead. Thus speak those Ganas along with the Kinnaras, and he thought, sad at heart, hears but patiently their strange utterances. Investing with an aerial body and sitting in the aerial car due to the influence of gifts, he gives out in speech his impassioned thought. Dharma is father, compassion is mother, speech is sweet-tongued wife, bath in a holy place is equal to relatives. Whatever good is done by hand, the same is heaven. A religious person is a symbol of happiness, and a sinner is all misery. That man on the earth deserves praise who is religious, who has conquered pride and anger, who is humble though learned, who does not trouble others in vain, who is satisfied with his wife and keeps away from unlawful sexual desire. He who offers sweets, he who performs Agnihotra, has studied Vedanta, has performed religious rites, fasts for a month within a year, and remains chaste. These 6 in this world are worthy of honor. A man of good conduct can also be put in this category. A vapi, an oblong reservoir of water, a well, a tank, a cistern, and temple of a deity in the heart of a devotee constitutes the best virtue.
I want to go back to 41. I want these 6. I want to know what the 6 are.
Okay. Yeah, you have to listen to this. He who offers sweets, he who performs Agnihotra, has studied Vedanta, has performed religious rites, fasts for a month within a year, and remains chaste. These 6 in this world are there 7 there?
I got sweets, Agnihotra,
Vedanta, religious rites.
Okay.
Fast, specifically for a month within a year. Vrat, month-long vrat, and remains chaste. Are those 6? Chastity.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes.
Okay. These 6 in this world are worthy of honor. A man of good conduct can also be put in this category. A vapi, a well, a tank, a cistern, a temple of a deity in the heart of a devotee constitute the best virtue. Feeding a Vedic scholar for a year, arranging the marriage of a Brahmin's daughter, freeing a Brahmin family from debt, tilling land and digging well to meet the need of thirsty and hungry person constitutes a virtuous act. That one didn't require them to be a Brahmin if they were in need. Whosoever has a pure mind hears or recites this chapter on the essence of virtue is considered to be noble and religious. He goes to the highest world after death.
Well, the thing that strikes me the most is that confessional period there. We got into...
I did not see, nor bowed to, nor worship.
24 is where it starts.
O soul, suffer for what you did in your previous life.
And that section is very like a section in the Papyrus of Ani, which is from Egypt, in the Book of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
There's this long confessional that the mummy recites after they die. That's very similar. Like I would really like to compare the original text so that you could really check that out. But anyway, it just reminded me a lot of that section. It's one of the other few texts that I know of that deals specifically with afterlife, rituals around the afterlife, and that sort of information. I don't know of any other text except this one.
We're about to read chapter 49. Not right now, but in the next reading. It's a fairly long chapter, and it turns out it is the last chapter of this Khanda, and we begin another Khanda, Khanda 3. So,
interesting.
Just anticipating, 49 is a nice number to end up on. It is, of course, 7 squared. It's also very near the number of letters in the Sanskrit alphabet. Some make it 50 by adding a compound like sha or om, or,
You can always get one more.
You can. I've diagrammed the alphabet as a 7x7 square that spirals. So, and also encountered a yogi in India who had drawn the same square. Mine was just amusing myself, and his amused the hell out of me because it was the same square.
Yeah, we thought he'd made it up, and this guy was doing it.
It just tuned into the cosmic consciousness.
He thought it was pretty cool too that we knew what it was, and that we had tried to do it ourselves, or had done it ourselves.
Okie doke. We'll see you later.
Mm-hmm.